Let's go back a little bit to the Borno Elders Forum. Now, with the kind of statements that are being made, for instance, the secretary of the group, Alhaji Gubio, is quoted as saying it is apparent that no authority in this country wants to end the Boko Haram crisis. Since 1999, it has always been escalating. With those kind of statements, are they not sounding inflammatory?
Not inflammatory.
Would they help in any way, telling the people of Borno to take their life, to take the bull by the horns? Would that make a difference?
No, you see, the fundament is probably the way he put it. The reality is that I've just said it repeatedly here, that you had got the president and commander-in-chief not being there at all. You had flood victims, just the flood took place, and then you saw him with his face covered with his jeans, and he was there. This is what he's supposed to do together with all these other people. That there's no, even First World War and Second World War, people went to the table to sit down to iron it out. There's nothing extraordinary about the Boko Haram crisis there in northern Nigeria that cannot be solved. So long as these particular leaders that I've mentioned, genuinely feel concerned, and so long as there's a commitment by all of us to see that, yes, we want to do the politics through following the rules of engagement, the due process. Who are the ones funding the political parties? Who won the election? As long as people win elections through fair and listen, people accept that.
So some people will say that considering that the president might not be very popular there, what will his presence do?
We've seen presidents that are not popular, that later on, out of the lack of love, they were able to convert that lack of love to capital, political capital. It depends on how you said. There's no human being that is perfect. I've done what I've done, and probably this is the perception, but I am, by God's grace, I'm the president and commander-in-chief. It's God that anoints people, kings there. And everybody knows that. So I am today, by God's grace, the president of Nigeria. There's nothing he can do about it. I can't wish that it should be otherwise. But this is what I'll do. It will make a lot of difference.
If the vice president were to go as an advance
Why vice president?
No, I mean first. Then the president comes up later.
They're even looking at the vice president as somebody who lost a state that is critical to them. He ought to have, they're looking at a situation where somebody ought to have been the governor, not even the vice president, because as far as they're concerned, he creates a lot more impact as a governor than a nominal vice president. That's their perception. So if he goes there, why are you coming there? They've even attacked his house, you have seen in the pages of the newspaper. So it's not really a vice president thing, it's a president thing, together with the other people that they believe ought to be their leaders talking to them. There is a de jure leader, there's a de facto leader, and in the current equation, given what we've seen, for a general to cry, somebody like Buhari to cry, it sent a lot of jittery message. People are really, people really, really look up to him as a leader there, and things didn't work out that way, so they really feel aggrieved.
Well, Yusuf here also says that, well, since they will listen to Buhari if he goes in there, so he thinks that Buhari should have gone there also.
But not going there. What about the government recognizing him? You understand? What about the government saying, look, we also look at you, come on board. Most of these awards that are being given, you see award being given to Obijo Obasanjo, award being given to Obasanjo, award being given to Obasanjo, and then Angote and all this. And people are saying, okay, what about these leaders that we know that they have participated? What awards are being given to them? So the point is that, are we genuine enough to recognize those that people look up to as leaders? To say that, look, if you talk, it makes a lot of difference. You understand? Why is today now Tampolo, who is the militant, now given the $45 million security contract to serve as a captain? Talk to the militants, because if you talk to the militants, then today we saw the oil production jumping up to the pre-amnesty era, 2-point-something million barrels, because they look at him as a leader, and he's spoken to them, and they let down their arms.